Now we should have some sound. Good morning, everyone. Lucky I started a couple of minutes early because if you're coming onto the broadcast right now and live, you should be able to hear this now you should be able to hear it, whereas I didn't press a setting before. So all should be good, all should be fantastic, and you should be able to hear me. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Like, how can you show me some hearts if you can hear me? Today, let's have a look. Good morning. You can all lip read. You know, there's a solution to everything, right? And this week we've been looking at confidence. And if you think about, this is something that we've spoken a bit about this week. Your life. Does your life matter? Does your life mean anything? You know, it's such an important question. And sometimes, where you've ever had a coach, I think I might have to take this off because I can feel the heat. I can feel the heat. Happy, beautiful day, everyone. Have you ever had a coach before in your life? Most of us have been coached in some way, shape or form, whether it was learning to swim or someone just giving us advice and coaching us to learn something that we didn't think that we could do, learning a sport. Most of us have been coached at least at one point in our life. And many of you look at me actually as your coach, which is my great pleasure to be here and show up to help you as we go through the path of life. Let me ask you, have you ever seen the film Star Wars? Show me some hearts or just say yes or no if you've ever watched the film Star Wars. And if you haven't watched it, maybe you know the story, just like there is in every story, because your life is a story. That's why you're here. You're here because of the story that has happened and got you to this point. And if you're going to move forwards and you think, what do I need? What are the ingredients that I need in order to take my life forwards? Do you think confidence might be something that you would need in order to move your life in a direction that you want to go, to become more confident? Probably. Especially when you look at what confidence is, the root meaning of the word is trust. Trusting yourself, right? You trusting you. You backing yourself, you looking in the mirror and go, I got your back. I trust you. I believe in you. But most people don't. And one of the brutal facts about that is the reason you don't trust yourself is because you don't believe in yourself. The story you're telling yourself about who you are and the story you're even telling yourself about your future. And part of the reason you lack the trust is because many times in your life, you've had great intentions. And how many times have you said that you were going to do something and you didn't do it? How many times in your life has that happened? You said you were going to do something and you didn't do it. Show me some hearts. Show me that little emoji of the shocked face, if that is you. And then you'll start to realize, wow, it's not just me. It's not just me that's let myself down. A lot of people here have let themselves down. You know, I think that is the great one of the stories of one of the most perhaps saddest stories in the world is human beings constantly letting themselves down. Does that make sense? Human beings constantly. So you're not alone, but there is a part of your brain that remembers this. And this is the reason why most people lack confidence. Because there's a part of their brain that's going, you've just said you're going to do that. And I know you're not going to do that. So I'm actually going to prove that theory right to you. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But I often found it quite hard. When I had a coach, some of the things he encouraged me to face, I really didn't want to have. I didn't want to face them because it put me in a position where I realized, ooh, I could change here, you know? And for a lot of people, when they feel fear, it freezes them and they don't act because they're frightened to step into doing something they don't normally do, into changing. You're not alone. But my point is this, the whole thing with Star Wars, I was talking to the amazing Kate Carruth, who we're writing a book together. It's called Inspirators. It's about leadership. And we're using the analogy of lots of different films because we love films, whether it's The Matrix or Star Wars or Harry Potter or Alice in Wonderland. We love these films. They talk to us. Rocky, there's a new Rocky film coming out called Creed 2. And it's the same thing all the time. Our lives are like stories, but we don't take the adventure on in our own life. We just look at other people's and see what's going on, rather than thinking, no, I want to create an adventure. I want to create an amazing story. How many of you would like to do that in some way, shape, or form? How many of you would like your future to be awesome? Anyway, in the first Star Wars film, Luke Skywalker is living with his fostered parents who are looking after him. And they don't really tell him the truth. And they just try and stop him from being bold and becoming the training to become a Jedi Knight. It's what he wants to do. And then he meets Ben Kenobi. Ben Kenobi, the old man who's played by Alec Guinness in the film. Alec Guinness doesn't tell him the truth about who his father really is. He said, oh, your father died. Your father was a great warrior. And he doesn't tell him the truth. But, would you want to tell him the truth? Would you want him to know, say, well, look, Luke, I need to tell you, your dad is an evil man. He's alive, and his plan is to destroy all of the Jedi Knights. In fact, he's not even a man now. He's a half man, half machine. Maybe he did what he thought was best in not telling him the truth. And I want to tell you the truth, but for some of you, maybe you don't want to hear this. Maybe you don't want to hear, and maybe this sounds very philosophical. It's not your truth. It's my truth. And my truth, as I see it, is the saddest reality of the human race is humans constantly selling themselves short. Human beings not thinking that they're good enough. Human beings beating the crap out of themselves. Human beings thinking that they must be something that they're not. They must be someone else. They must be like other people, rather than being a better version of yourself. This is what I'm deeply passionate about. This is what I get up every single day, because I believe in you. And everything I've put together at this point in time is has accumulated or has ended up in a place where people like you can massively change their lives, if that's something that you want to do. And for those of you, because this week, I'm selling all of you, selling you a better life. And many of you have already bought into that, and you're already a part of our elite membership, because as of Friday, we go back to normal service. We'll be spending 4 weeks with our elite members in building your confidence, building. You have to go to work on building something. A great life doesn't just happen poof like that. It happens by design. How many of you have a desire to make things better? How many of you have a desire to build something better? Show me some hearts if that is you. If you are the sort of person that wants to build something that is better than what you have today, sometimes you need to take down the walls of what you have created. This reality of who you are, feeling that I'm not good enough. How many of you in your life have ever said, I'm not good enough, I can't do that, that's going to fail, what do these people think of me? We have talked ourselves into a position where we have pushed our confidence down. What we do with our coaching is we help you to remove the obstacles and tap into the essence of who you are. You and me, we all have the same abilities. We all breathe the same air. The screen, I think, keeps freezing a little bit here. We all kind of breathe the same air as people like Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, Richard Branson, people who often come up in these sorts of conversations. We breathe the same. I breathe the same air as you, but chances are when I get up in the morning, maybe I'm more compelled to move forwards, to create something. And this is what we have to go to work. And it is work. And I'm not here telling you that this is easy, but it's not hard. It's just easy to do, to allow yourself to be coached. And it's also easy not to do. But what we have been doing here for the last few years is ridiculously, I say, transforming people's lives. And I would love, actually, right now, for any of our members to share here what this whole experience has done for you in terms of what you have been getting out of this journey that you have been on. Because just like the law of living, the more you put into something, the more you put into this, the more you're going to get out of it. You see, at the beginning of the week, if you looked at the amount of people that were watching the broadcast, you could see the numbers were much higher. And then you see the numbers come down. And often people start with great intentions. And what I'm about to say to you is deeply profound. It's maybe some of the most important information that I would ever give you. We start off with good intentions and we get enthusiastic and we get excited, but we don't fan the flame of our enthusiasm. And if you don't fan that flame every single day, the flame just goes out. And when it goes out, it's really hard to get it going again. Do you know how many degrees Fahrenheit it takes to get a spark going to light a flame? Anyone know? Thank you for all these comments, by the way. 452 degrees. 452 degrees is what it takes. That's what it takes. Not 451, not 450. It's an exact amount, for something to actually happen. You come up with an idea. I want to get healthy. I want to lose weight. I want to write that book. And you start off with great intentions. But before you know it, your intention has gone out. And this is the part of the reason why people need coaching. Coaches work with you. Great coaches, world-class coaches will work with you to basically fan that idea every single day. I show up here every single day. And maybe for some of you, your enthusiasm is growing. So let me ask you another question. It's a big question. It's a big question to be asking people at 11 minutes past 7. But who cares? Let me ask you the question. Where are you going? Where are you going? I used to hate this question. I really used to hate this question when people used to say, where do you want to be in 5 years' time? I used to resent the question and I'll tell you why I resented the question. And I'm just being completely honest with you here. Why I resented that question was because I didn't know. And I'd say to people, I don't really want to think about it. I'm just enjoying the now. That's just nonsense. I was lying to myself. I was scared to admit the fact that I didn't know where I was going. I knew where I'd come from, and I knew that I didn't like where I came from. This lady says, I need my 365. Well, Julie, you can join my 365. You can join for £1. This is the #1 coaching opportunity in the world. There is no better opportunity in the world than this. There is no, I don't know. And if there is, please show it. I'd love to see it. Why? Because we show up every day. We give you the best tools, tips, techniques, and strategies. What else do we do for you? We give you the most amazing people like Yvonne Taylor, people like Mark Pitcher, people who've actually become members of the month, people like Carmen, people who have become great examples, people who you can follow. You are the sum of the 5 people that you spend most of your time with. And I'm just telling you this because I'm just being brutally honest. I didn't like where I came from. I mean, it's not that I had a bad childhood or anything like that, but I didn't think I was good enough. So I was driven to move away, just maybe like you, to move away from where I had been. Lots of people do that. Some of those people burn out. Some of those people end up with heart attacks because they're not actually enjoying where they are. And I had a big wake-up call a few years ago to the realization of I'm asking people to think about where they want to go, and I don't even want to go. So now it's very clear to me where I'm taking my life in the 3 big areas. And this is the other thing that we work on with my 365 is helping you develop your confidence in the big 3. So what are the big 3? What are the big 3? The big 3 is quite simple. The big 3 is your health. Is your health important? Of course it is. What else is important? Your family, your relationship, your friends. That's the next of the big 3. What's the other one? It's your work and your service. Maybe there's a big 4, which is money. So if you want to achieve anything in that life, guess what you need? Guess in those areas, guess what you need? You need confidence. Confidence is your ability to trust yourself in what you're doing, and you need a plan. This is where I'm going. This is what I want to do. So as we wrap this up for today, because tomorrow is the last day, and don't miss the ride. You can all come on the journey. You can all come on the journey, even if it's just for 1 month of building Building your confidence. On Monday, we start 4 weeks of training. That's one of the things we've spoken about this week. If you want to practice something, you got to train. And if you train something and you do it every single day, boy, you can get better. Imagine what your life would be like with more trust. Imagine what your life would be like if you could see the future. Now, you might say, I can't see the future. Well, it's a future that you're seeing inside your mind. If you see it inside your mind, you might just start to believe it. What the mind can conceive and believe, we can achieve. But most of us don't do that because we're telling ourselves the story. And that is where I'd like to bring this to a place where maybe you guys can get a little bit more clarity around where you are right now. Look, you are where you are right now because of many choices that you've made. And one of the choices that you're making right here, right now, is to watch this. And I appreciate that. I really do. You have gone out of your way to give me your time. So the best thing I can do is give you the best of my time and say, listen, this is a conversation between me and you. If I could step inside your head and, shrink myself down and go inside and listen to what you were saying, you know what I'd hear? I'd hear a story. I'd probably be amazed by your story because I know you've already been through some pretty big things in your life, some trauma, some heartache, some difficult, maybe some real travesty, maybe some horrific things, but maybe also some great times as well, some fun and some laughter. But what I'd see is the dialogue and the same old story that you have been telling yourself about who you are. But that's not who you really are. That's just the story that you're telling yourself, and you've believed it. You are not telling yourself the story of, hey, listen, this is where we're going. This is what we're going to do because I've opened up the bottle. I've opened the bottle. I've taken the piece of paper out, and I know what I'm here to do. I'm here to make my life better than it is today. I'm here to grow. Every single human being is here for one reason and one reason only, to grow. That's why you're here, to grow, to get better. That's what you are here to do. I appreciate every single one of you being here. And as we finish this, the biggest thing that comes up, and this is why you need coaching, this is why you need my 365. Don't let this opportunity, don't be poor, passing over opportunities repeatedly. Opportunities like this don't come very often. And if you're already one of our members, it's time to grab the reins of this thing and let's do something incredible over the next 4 weeks of our lives. It does take work. It does take dedication. And when people decide to move forwards in a direction which maybe they haven't been before, people often experience some form of fear or worry or doubt or anxiety or sadness or loneliness, and that's okay. What great coaches do is help you use that emotion to drive you forwards rather than to be scared of what's coming. Rather than to be scared, you need to use fear. Fear can be a very fuel for your own personal development. So I would love to know from every single one of you here today, what's your biggest takeaway from what I've just said? What is your biggest takeaway? Show me some hearts if this is something that has resonated with you. Show me if you want to share this as well. Feel free to share this. I can see there's 80 odd people watching this right here, right now. And once again, I appreciate that, because how many of you have watched all the broadcasts this week? You've had the intention and you followed through. No one can do this for you, but when you've got the right people around you, it makes this so much easier. I really appreciate you for being here. Are there any questions that any of you would like to ask? Or if you want to find out more about My 365 Elite, just literally go and click on the link. Let me actually show you something here so you can see what is going on here. Let me show you. When you become a My 365 Elite member, this is what you get. Let me add this to the screen. You don't just get these live broadcasts every single day, Monday to Friday. You get a lot. You get a lot more than that. You get access to the greatest material of stuff that I've ever put together in my life. And I haven't done this on my own. I've done this with our team. You get a whole load of these masterclasses, and we help you to graduate in these areas. And this is available on any mobile device, on your computer. You get access to a masterclass, Best Year Yet, How to Create 365 Days of Awesomeness, We have Wellness 365, teaching you how to be well, teaching you mentally, physically, emotionally, how to be well. We teach mindfulness, which is about you developing a very strong and powerful mind. We teach you how to become the leader in your life. Just like Barack Obama said, you are the leader you have been waiting for. Confidence, which is what we start on Monday. Don't miss out on creating intense trust in yourself. We teach you willpower. Willpower is the science of self-control, your ability to get yourself to do the things that you need to do even when you don't feel like it. Willpower outpredicts IQ. And then we've got Habits 365, showing you how to break the habits that have held you back and develop the habits that will serve you moving forwards. We teach you about movement, how to create more movement in your life, mental, physical, spiritual, just to move. And we show you how to upgrade your life. Plus, we have another masterclass called Up Your Creative Genius. We've got a collection of meditations. This is, without doubt, the number one opportunity in the world for amazing people like you to create an awesome, awesome life. This is what I've dedicated my complete life to. And you guys have got a wonderful opportunity here to take control of your life. If you haven't shared this, please do. I'd really appreciate it. You never know who might watch this and who might go ahead and start transforming their life. Don't live a life of mediocrity. Your time isn't now. It's right now. To all of our elite members, thank you for showing up this week, and get ready. Get ready to start looking at that material. Now is the time to go into the membership site. Let me just bring this up once more. Now is the time to get in here, to look at the Confidence Masterclass, download the worksheet that is here, go into the masterclass, download it, print it off if you want to, and let's go to work. Let's go to work on dedicating maybe an hour a day for the next month. And let's go to work on building and cultivating your willpower. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. I appreciate all of your comments and all of you that also show up and share to the world what this experience has done for you. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll summarize everything that we've done. For me, what's your number one learning from today, your number one takeaway? Mine is, you got to do what you say you're going to do. If you want to develop and build your confidence, if you say you're going to do something, do it. If you find that uncomfortable, it's a pretty sure sign that this is something you definitely need to do. And also for me, another takeaway from today is just making you guys aware of the story and the stories that you are telling yourself. That is not a story that you have to tell yourself. The reason you keep telling yourself that story, it's just a habit. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. If you've enjoyed this, leave some comments and feel free to share it. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here. Have an awesome day. Much love to you and your families. Goodbye.